Thanks for joining us on the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Coming up, Dominica's head of state begins spreading Christmas cheer. 11 scholarships have been secured for Dominican students in Malaysia, and the Community Alert Project to conduct a simulation exercise this month. Stay tuned for details of these and more stories after this.
A lot of bathtubs are blamed for bruises. Some staircases are accused of being responsible for broken bones. Doors are occasionally viewed suspiciously as causing lesions. A high percentage of tables are accused of producing bleeding or trauma. Violence against women is a crime, and it's everyone's responsibility. It's inexcusable. If you're a victim or witness of physical or psychological violence or abuse, seek help and denounce the perpetrator.
Thanks for staying with us. 11 scholarships have been secured for Dominican students wishing to attend the Dato Gale Fong Limo Queen University in Malaysia. Honorable Minister for the Environment, Dr. Kenneth Daru, told GIS News that a memorandum of understanding was signed with the university when he led a delegation to Malaysia about 3 weeks ago.
It's a very prestigious university. We already have a number of Caribbean students. In fact, this university would have students from about, I think, 160 different countries from around the world. So basically almost over 2/3 of the UN countries represented here. We have some Caribbean students already studying here from Trinidad and Vincent. Of course, the heads of state of these or heads of government of these countries would have made previous visits to Malaysia and would have secured scholarships for some of the students.
This partnership will hope to see an international campus for the university established in Dominica. Honorable Daru recalled the success of the Ross University in Portsmouth and the more recent All Saints University, stating that another international school establishment will add to the positive impact being made by these institutions on the country. The Honorable Minister gave a little more insight into the university.
It's a highly technical university and very practical. And this university is linked to some of the major brands, even the brands that you're familiar with in the West, like HP, Hewlett-Packard, and a number, Microsoft and Sony. They do a lot of research work, labeling and so for them. So it's a university which I see that is going to be not so much academic, but teach kids to come back to do practical things in back in their country.
According to Honorable Daru, this new partnership is thanks to Dominica's Economic Citizenship Program.
Economic citizens of ours, we have them spread out around the globe. So of course, quite a few of them would be genuinely, or most of them would be genuinely interested in giving back to their new, quote-unquote, their new country. So we have this this citizen back who's based in Malaysia, who of course is very excited to be right now a citizen of the Commonwealth of Dominica, very affluent gentleman, and he felt that they didn't need to put together a delegation to come to explore the possibility of cooperation between the two countries and also businesses. So for this I applaud him, because I think that he's taking his role as a new Dominican citizen very seriously, and is right now looking to see how he can give back to his new country.
On Thursday, Dominica's head of state and patron of the President's Charities Foundation, His Excellency the President, Charles Savre, began the annual tradition of spreading Christmas cheer to charitable organizations, beginning with the Operation Youth Quake in Savannah Park. Some time ago, at a ceremony to make financial donations to 8 charitable organizations, the President revealed that Operation Youth Quake is an organization very dear to his heart. This time on Wednesday, he made that statement directly to the administration and residents.
Operation Youth Quake, for me, is one of those valuable services that we offer in this society, which I believe we need to seek to provide additional support for.
In addition to a financial donation to the organization, practical gifts of laundry detergent and rice were also gifted to Operation Youthquake. The President spoke highly of the organization's agricultural endeavors, which include ground provision and vegetable plots and egg production. Hence, this thank you from the staff and residents. The President's wife, Mrs. Savre, also brought a thoughtful gift, a birthday gift for Jamal, who turned 20 on Friday. The President's Charities Foundation will this year make donations to 20 charitable organizations based on proceeds from its annual fundraising dinner. Dominica can have an information and technology communication-based economy. The view expressed by the Honorable Minister for Telecommunications, Ambrose George, as he addressed a workshop to complete a national ICT policy.
Dominica has the unique opportunity to become a major ICT-based economy as a direct result of the existing technical expertise and a broadband infrastructure, the competence of its human resource base, and the existing legal and regulatory environment, which are foundational to the development and sustainability of a vibrant ICT sector. The government of Dominica has already made significant progress in developing the ICT sector.
The Honorable Minister therefore made an appeal for the involvement of the private sector in providing key services that will play a major role in realizing this type of growth.
The impact of ICT as a driver of development is profound because it creates opportunities across all segments of the economy and society. Hence, broadband technology must be an integral aspect underpinning the continued rapid growth and development of the ICT sector in Dominica. The government therefore calls on all players within the society to partner with government in a national effort to further expand and advance the ICT sector in the economy.
Government has already made strides in using ICT to effectively provide a number of important services to all citizens. This includes the online civil registry system, the electronic tax filing system, and the multi-purpose identification system. In other news, the agriculture industry in Dominica is looking to become more competitive. So says Head of Plant Protection and Quarantine Unit, Ryan Anselm. He says the industry has to devise ways to remain competitive on the regional market and increase productivity.
The program speaks about the strategy that we speak of. It speaks about taking farmers to produce from 5 tons per acre a year to 7 tons per acre for in the first year, and in the second year 10 tons per acre. So again, the strategy has to be implemented, and we're encouraging all the major stakeholders to come on board. We've also developed a matrix of activities, an action plan with CADI, DEXIA, Fair Trade and DAPEX in terms of moving the sector forward. So we still have hope. The industry is very important to Dominica. We know we've been hit by black sigatoka, but we want to encourage the farmers to stay in the sector, in the subsector banana and plantain, because these are cash crop. You have a market for it on a weekly basis. Antigua, Barbados and St. Kitts huge importers of these crops. So basically the output indicator for this crop is very positive, and we're hoping that the farmers can stay in the industry and for us to secure our income.
He says bananas will not be planted as usual, and the industry will use best practices to receive the most from its inputs. There will also be zoning of crops to produce more yield. To be part of this new strategy, he says farmers need to be more serious about farming.
We have a strong diversification program where we're going to involve farmers that do not want to plant banana. We're going to engage them so that they can plant other crops, and also to work with farmers in the north and the northeast. And one would know that places like the Wesley, Woodfordale, Cassibus are our largest growing banana areas. So we want to continue to engage these farmers and put the necessary infrastructure in place, so farmers would benefit and still continue to live, have a livelihood in terms of bananas.
The Community Alert program is taking shape in the Portsmouth area. Since the last time we spoke about the project with Program Officer at the Office of Disaster Management, Steve Joseph, program operators have intensified their efforts to raise awareness about coastal hazards. Joseph updated GIS in an interview on Thursday.
We've had 2 persons engaged in Portsmouth. From all reports, the activities have gone on very well. I mean, especially among the schools, there's great excitement. In fact, yesterday we were at the St. John's Primary, and the students there were already elated. From the moment we walked through the gates, they could immediately identify with the activities. So we've been working with all the schools, RDPS, PSS. We also spoke to SDA yesterday and St. John's Academy, which is a new Catholic school. Today we're meeting the Portsmouth Disaster Management Committee again, and we're seeking to also meet the newly elected council.
Joseph explained that an early warning system is being organized to be used for the project, which will comprise 2 aspects, a radio interrupt and a radio data system.
2 of the aspects of that early warning system will be radio interrupt, which means that we're hoping that once the radio stations agree, and we will sign an MOU with them, whatever broadcast is going on, if there is an emergency at a level 3, which means impact is almost imminent, the early warning will take over whatever program to bring across the alert system so that the nation hears. And that will be for a couple of seconds. It's automated, so it will take over, broadcast message, and then return to usual broadcasting. The other element is what is called the radio data system, which is a small device, small radio, that will receive that alert both in text as well as an alarm and voice. We are hoping that if we can begin with these 2 elements, which we hope to install sometime this month, that will lead up to our simulation exercise towards the end of this month, where we will actually test the system.
A simulation exercise has been organized for this month to test the system's communication and time efficiency. It will be tested with the evacuation of 2 schools. Joseph said Dominica's progress with the project thus far is quite impressive.
In fact, we just had the DPECO workshop in Jamaica, and Dominica is one of the examples that they're using in terms of how we've progressed on this project. And I really have to express our gratitude to ECHO and UNDP, because we delivered on a volcanic project that we worked with the Red Cross. We also delivered on the country document, which is the profile of Dominica on disaster risk reduction, as well as the CAP. So 3 initiatives that were supported by, well, we call it the PECO, the department. So we are very pleased on the progress that we've made, and we believe that CAP will certainly lead to the development of the Dominica alert system. And this is what we're discussing right now, a policy on a Dominica alert system, which we hope will put Dominica in a position where we can better alert our public of any impending threat.
While the program officer could not release the exact date of the exercise, he informed that it would take place during a week of activities to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the 2004 earthquake. The CAP project is being funded by the European Commission Humanitarian Organization. Meanwhile, President of the Dominican Nurses Association, Nurse Deborah Roach Phillip, has called for nurses to collaborate to tackle the challenge of shortage of nursing staff within the region.
As you know, the countries in the region go through several challenges, and one of them is nursing shortage. But I believe together, if we put our voices together, we put our forces together, we will be able to negotiate to help improve the level of care that is delivered. And again, that has to be delivered if we have adequate staffing. And we often hear nurses leave the region, and we need to do something about that. And this is one of the areas I wish to focus on, that we can be able to negotiate, to help to go out there, to inform the authorities that there is need for more attractive remuneration packages for nurses that will help nurses to realize they need to stay within the region to deliver care to their own natives.
Nurse Philip was recently elected to the Board of Directors of the Caribbean Nurses Organization as Director for Region 3. In an effort to empower Dominican men to be able to make significant contributions to society, VF Inc. and the Caribbean Male Action Network CARIMAN have joined forces for Saturday's Phenomenal Men's Symposium. In exclusive interviews with Chief Executive Officer of VF Inc., Dr. Valde Henry, and the Vice President of CARIMAN, Philip Carlisle, they gave further details.
Nationally, we'll agree that there's a void in terms of man's role in society, men's role in taking care of the children, men's role in basically, because it's a diverse thing where our society is lacking men's impact, etc. So what we're looking forward to is not the converted per se, but those who are engaged in crisis situation, management of the families, management on the job, dealing with circumstances and situations. These are the persons that we are basically targeting so that we can assist in changing the present trend.
Oftentimes when we are going through our own stories and our own challenges, or when, you know, somehow, especially when we are younger, the path to our dream appears blocked or appears unclear, we sometimes get despondent, we sometimes give up hope, and persons deviate from their path because they couldn't see how it was happening. And what coming to the symposium will do, and what going to symposiums like that, when we hear people's stories, what it often does is let us recognize that the path to success is never really easy. And at any point, we should never give up hope, no matter what's happening. We should always keep that flicker of hope alive, and that you can, in fact, achieve and walk through your purpose, your life, your God-given purpose.
At Saturday's symposium, 5 speakers will offer inspirational words, each bringing something different to the table. Dr. Henry is confident that the symposium will play a significant role in positively influencing the lives of those men and all they encounter. And Andre Charles, a dairy farmer based in Soufriere, gave away 2 of his cattle stock on Thursday, and in his mind, the reason for his gesture is quite simple. GIS News was there when Charles selected 2 of his best heads of cattle to contribute to the Central Livestock Unit.
I was recipient. I was supposed to have returned a heifer, which I did many moons ago, but today, as it appears that I have achieved recognition on a national level, it seems like I have reached the apex of my career, and so I would like to give back. However, it's not possible to go handpick an individual in the community because I do not know the person's interests, but the interest I showed made me the recipient I was, and I've worked with you in your department throughout the years, and I believe the best place to reinvest is in the Central Livestock Farm gene pool, to which I make presentation of this Holstein bull and heifer.
Charles got his start in the business over 30 years ago when he was given startup cattle through a government program which required him to give back when his business had taken off. He has since given back his due but chose to give again. The Ministry of Agriculture was thankful for the gift, of course, and assured Charles that his animals will be used for the benefit of the industry. It is hoped that others will be inspired to invest in dairy farming as a result of one man's gift. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Dominic te voyé en délégation Malaysia pour une discussion et puis investors qui a gardé une possibilité de taper développement de pays là. Ministre Environ, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow, te chef délégation Dominic.
De 3 semaines passées, le Premier ministre a aidé moi et il voulait moi head of delegation pour aller Malaysia. Parce que le Premier ministre était supposé aller, mais il n'a pas fait encore. So, là, quand il m'avait dit moi ça, j'étais très content. Et trip ça là, c'est un trip comme on dit qui ouvre les yeux moi à Pachigam parce que quand nous vivons dans région ça là, ça c'est Caribbean, tout bitin nous TV nous tout bagaille c'est américain. Et traditionnellement nous toujours les links avec Britain avec tous les extent c'est les autres pays Europe ça c'est France avec ces places là. So nous pas dire c'est récemment Prime Minister là il a commencé côté diplomatique avec China, nous commençons à ouvrir que il y a d'autres possibilités en région ça là, ça c'est Far East avec Asia. So trip Malaysia ça c'était un eye opener pour moi parce qu'il fait moi ouais qui c'est pas seulement l'Amérique avec l'Angleterre avec ces places Europe ça qui ni possibilité pour cooperation. Mais en Malaysia, nous avons créé ces Asian Tigers là, avec ces Asian, avec ces Cubs là, qui c'est pays qui a développé avec ces possibilités pour faire business avec ces places là.
En d'autres nouvelles, le gouvernement Dominique a passé législation pour mettre au compte cybercrime. Parole celle-là, sortie du ministre Telecoms, Honorable Ambrose George.
Nous acceptons que cybercrime à la monde, à tout pays, à tout global. C'est un bagage qui a affecté plusieurs pays. En Dominique, nous il peut pas vivre nous dans une manière, mais nous avons point garde. Nous avons point garde parce que nous avons tant ça qu'a fait dans notre pays. So nous parlons mener corps nous dans une manière qui si ça arrive nous pas ni facilité, nous pas ni monde qui train dans cybercrime pour aider pays avec pour aider gouvernement pour gommer cybercrime. So nous que aussi dans temps à venir point cybercrime à son l'autre level avec pour comment nous ça mettre mettre en unit à place pour certains qui si il y a des gens qui les want comme par exemple document gouvernement qui les want dans la banque qui les want dans la social security avec ces faits affaires là ça nous ni en unit nous ni en facilité là nous ça protecter ces places dans le cybercrime.
Travail développement pour place à ces chimères la côte douée pour l'ODA. Parole celle-là sortie du Parlement Rose Valley, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre. Honorable McIntyre aussi mentionné projet géothermique en l'ODA.
Nous faisons 9 chimères sortis de la côte douée pour monter jusqu'à côté l'ODA, jusqu'à côté Freshwater Lake. Il y a des chimères à village là, ça nous fait en half déjà, nous tous les ans côté catholique l'église, nous fait ça tout. Geothermal energy, c'est un bail qui bien, vous savez qu'avec le gouvernement ça, c'est le gouvernement qui mettait ces bails ça là. Nous faisons tout déjà, une force là-bas à pied nous. Avec ça nous avons fait, nous avons honestly, pour comme si nous ça réalise comme si geothermal energy. Nous avons l'eau déjà, actuellement nous avons aller côté geothermal energy avec ça c'est ça qui a poussé pour l'autre année qui a venu là nous gagner élection qui a venu à 8 décembre. Non, ça c'est l'ODA.
Et puis finalement, ministre agriculture qui travaille et habitants pour avancer agriculture aux lignes de mauvaises maladies Black Sigatoka qui a bien affecté l'industrie là. Parole celle-là sortie de officier quarantine ministre agriculture Ran Ansem.
Yon se bagay là nous allons faire aussi, nous allons garder comment nous travailler avec planter qui sait où est, planter qui les wite avec figue, travailler avec yo, ba yo tout ces ressources là pour yo faire biter là. Et nous ja ouais nous pas que continuer planter figue avec banane qu'on nous fait qu'on avant. So stratégie à nous pour faire et pour nous garder en anglais comment on garder zone, comment nous que zone là nous ka planter figue et nous que travailler avec planter qui bien sérieux pour nous gommer contre Black Sigatoka. Nous aussi ka ta persistance contre BAM, Banana Company Measures, European Union qui ka ba nous support pour nous regarder comment nous ka gommer contre black sigatoka. Et ça nous ka le faire, nous ka le travailler planter, nous ka le faire démonstration avec resistant variety la cadi ka aider nous pour nous faire ça. Nous ka le faire ça l'année qui a venir là nous ka le faire demonstration plot pour nous montrer ces planter comment ou ka gommer contre black sigatoka où ça source pour souffrir toute bagaille là bon pour gommer avec black sigatoka.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson Luce. Ni un bon week-end. Au revoir.
Coming up next, how baking soda can make your stomach happy.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Baking soda taken in moderate amounts and at appropriate times promotes healthy biochemistry. The typical Western diet is highly acidic, which allows many diseases and conditions to develop and flourish. Baking soda is an alkaline compound that reduces acidity in the body. Drinking baking soda dissolved in water is a folk remedy that has been used for many generations to alleviate the symptoms of indigestion, heartburn, infections, arthritis, and more. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GISNewsDominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the GIS News Production team, I'm Jarna Hector. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend.